What's going on YouTube? It's your girl Portia Dorsey, and we are expanding your success mindset in the areas of your mindset, your mission, and your money. Today's video is more mission focused, guys. We're going to be talking about the importance of rest, more specifically having a day of rest. I'm going to talk about it in two facets, so let's just get right in. So having a day of rest a week, that means having a 6 days of work, 1 day off cycle instead of the weekend where you work 5 days and get 2 days off. I do practice the biblical week of 6 days of work and 1 day off. I've been doing that for a few years now, and I really love it. I enjoy it. So number one, having a day of rest is biblical. It is divine. It is part of God's divine plan. When he made the earth, he only rested 1 day. In his commandments, it says, honor the Sabbath and keep it holy. He says, on 6 days you shall do your work, and on 1 day you shall do no work. On the seventh day, do no work. He commands us to have a day set aside where you do no work. And it's not just about doing nothing. It's not necessarily about being a couch potato. It's about honoring God. And so he commands this. He wants you to take a day outside of the ripping and running, and whatever else you got to do for your home, your family, your business, and all that stuff, right? Your work, and just spend time with him. So I personally spend my Sabbath in my word. I sleep in, first of all. I'm in my word, I'm praying, I'm game planning, I'll do things I enjoy, watch a movie, just relax, right? But the main thing is to relax. You got to recover, rejuvenate from the 6 days of work, but also to spend time with God. Amen. So the other part to that is this. This is actually the part that I like. And that is the day of rest shows trust in God. Because people who don't want to take a day of rest, like you got to get this done, no days off. Like there's an element of not trusting that God is working on your behalf. In the book U Squared by Price Pritchard, there's a chapter on unseen forces. And it talks about trusting the unseen. Because we can only do so much as human beings. Our view is limited. Our perspective is limited. Our ability is limited. So we are relying largely on unseen forces, the unseen hand of God, our faith, our belief, God moving things on our behalf, God orchestrating resources and events on our behalf. So God never sleeps nor slumbers. So he's not relying on you to be in this 24/7 grind in order for things to come to pass. He needs you working diligently 6 days a week. The hands of the diligent makes one prosper. He needs you working 6 days a week. And on the seventh day, he's got it. He's got it. There has to be a day where your hands aren't in it. There has to be a day where you rely on the unseen forces. You rely on God, like delegate it, right? You got to be able to delegate and trust that God is doing his part. Again, God never sleeps nor slumbers. So I think a part of God's command for commanding us to have a day of rest, to honor him, is also honors him in a way that have a day where your hands aren't in it so that I can do something. Have a day where you take your hands off of it. Have a day where you trust me with it, right? Have a day where you just spending time with me. You just interface with me. The thing that I sent you to do, like that's going to be getting taken care of while you're spending time with me. Like, don't worry about that. And then one of the other commandments is have nothing, no idol, have no thing before God. Well, if you can't honor the commandment to spend time with him, to have a day off because you have to work, then you're putting that thing that you have to work on above God, honoring God with the day off. And that mission that you're on has now become an idol because you've placed it above God. You've placed it in higher priority of what God told you to do, which was to take a day off. Amen. So I love that. So we honor God by keeping his command. On 6 days you do your work, on the seventh day do no work. Honor the Sabbath and keep it holy. And then it honors him because it shows trust that as much as I feel like I need to take this day to work, I need to get this done, I'm in this grind, right? No days off. I trust the command of God enough to rest on this day, knowing that ultimately it's in his hands anyway. It's in his hands anyway. So taking a day of rest, it doesn't matter. He doesn't sleep nor slumber. It's just take your hands off of it for a day and let him work. And then also, when you go back into your work, your week rejuvenated, revitalized and rejuvenated, you're clearer now on your approach and your task and what you need to do. That day of rest just frees up. You want to be in like the effortless way. You don't want to always be in the strain. You don't want to always be in this stress and this pressure cooker of trying to figure things out, trying to get things to work. You want to just like, when successful people, wealthy people, whatever, when they get in a bind, one of the first things they'll do is something that has nothing to do with what's happening. They'll go play around a golf. They'll go shoot a basketball. They'll go get on the treadmill, go for a walk. Like, you have to, like, all the alarms are going off. And you have to, like, take a moment and, like, take time and just be at ease. Be at ease and let all of that melt away. And let the Spirit of God flow. Just let it flow. You want to take inspired action and not forced action. Amen. So that is the importance of rest, guys. If you want to learn more about my rest day, again, just shoot me a question, leave a comment under the video. Also, if you'd like to be in my success group, coaching group, the link is in the description of my channel. If that doesn't work, again, just shoot me a message. But we do have daily accountability, 2 calls a week, and we are just in there fired up, chasing our goals, becoming better human beings, better mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, better children of God, better in our industry and our field and what we've been called and sent here to do. And it's just a great group to be a part of. So yeah, let me know if that interests you. Like, share, subscribe this video. And until next time, take care.